So I feel like I have been really wanting to do more kind of sit down, chatty book sort of videos, and I have seen a few people do these kind of videos where you sit down and sort of plan out your month of reading. So basically like a TBR video, but not a TBR video. Hey besties, welcome back to my channel. I distinctly remember making a video last year saying that I hated making TBR videos and I didn't want to make TBR videos anymore, and I was never going to make another TBR video like ever again. And that is because I am very much like a mood reader. I very much do not like to plan what I'm going to be reading every month, because usually if I, pick up a list of books that I want to read and I say to everyone, I'm going to read these this month, I usually end up not reading them, and it's just embarrassing for me, right? But after seeing a few people doing these sort of like sit down plan with me sort of videos to do with like planning out what you're going to read for the month, I realized I do actually plan out what I'm going to be reading every month, because I plan a lot of books that I want to read for like YouTube content. And this year I've been doing the Succeeding at Reading challenge, which I haven't really been posting my vlogs for, but I plan on like hopefully just posting them all this month in July. And I think like just kind of in general, I just really like this kind of content and I really wanted to give it a go. And it's currently July. It's the start of July. It's July 3rd. It took me a moment to remember what day it was. Oh my god. So technically the month has started, but I haven't done any reading yet this month and I have to plan out some books to read. So I thought I'd bring you guys along with me. Before we start planning what to read this month, I am going to go make myself a coffee, and then I will take you guys to my bookshelves and we can just sit down and plan out what to read for this month. Something that I personally love about living with 3 other people is that we usually just like always have coffee just around. So I'm probably gonna have to like heat this up a little bit, but we usually always just have coffee ready, which is just so convenient. Oh! I forgot we had chocolate. I'm gonna have a little snack, if you will. What does it smell like? It really just depends. How I make my coffee really just depends on what coffee I'm like having. So like if I go out and buy coffee, I usually get something sweet. So I like to get like a caramel latte usually. Just because I don't, obviously every place uses like different coffee. So unless I know what coffee they're using and I know that I like it, I'll get something sweet. But we get really good coffee at home, coffee that I sometimes even just drink black because it's that good. Like the coffee we get is that good. But like also really just depends on my mood. Just the same as like with reading, like what I like to read really depends on what mood I'm in. What I like what coffee I like to drink also depends on what kind of mood I'm in. And I definitely want something sweet. And I know 3 sugars probably looks like a lot, but this is, I don't know if you can tell, this is a huge cup. This is about the size of 2 cups combined. It is like, it's almost the size of my face. Like, what? It's huge. So 3 sugars in this mug is like nothing. Don't worry. Okay, let's go. So currently the bookshelves are a little bit of a mess, but you know what? That's okay. Okay, so this is the dark little corner of my apartment where I have all my books, otherwise known as my bedroom, if you couldn't tell. And this is where all of my reading happens. This is where I keep all of my books. I mean, like sometimes I read in the lounge and sometimes I'll keep like a book out there, but this is the general reading area. I apologize for the mess. I've been away I don't know if I've probably mentioned this in other videos. I was visiting my family for the end of June, and I just got back, I got back on the 1st of July. 1st of July at like 10 p.m. at night, 11 p.m. at night. I got home really late, and then yesterday I just spent all day unpacking, you know, kind of getting settled back in. Was kind of meant to clean, but I mean, it didn't really happen. My shelves are usually always kind of just a bit of a mess because like they're by my bed, so I just kind of put everything on them, which is terrible, but I mean, it is what it is. It gives me a kind of, what is the opposite of minimalism? It gives me that kind of vibe, and it brings me comfort. July. Reading. What do I need to plan for this month? So like every month this year, I need to plan what books I'm going to be reading for the Succeeding at Reading challenge this month. How I'm doing the challenge, I read 3 books every month, which is totally achievable, totally doable for my kind of schedule, my kind of life. So I will need to pick the 3 books that I will be reading. And exciting, this month I am participating in the Path or Pantheon readathon, which is a kind of, well, it's like a classic inspired kind of readathon, which last year they hosted the Myth Taker readathon, which was super fun, and I participated in that last year as well. And so this year they're doing the Path or Pantheon readathon, which I'm doing, and I'm pretty sure I've picked 2 paths to do. I don't think I picked a pantheon. I'm pretty sure I'm doing 2 paths. I'm pretty sure I'm doing the Path of Beauty and the Path of the Underworld. I think I'll have to check that, but I'm pretty sure that means I will have to read 10 books for that readathon. And I mean, I'm going to be vlogging for it, so I probably won't get like too into detail about the books that I pick because I'll talk about them in the video for the readathon. But I mean, we can pick the books. I have to pick the books, so we'll pick my TBR for that today. And then usually what I do is I will look at my bullet journal and see if there are any videos that I have planned for this month. So for example, I know usually I do a smut salon video every month, even though I haven't recently. That's my bad, I've been very busy. And I mean, like, I just usually have a lot of video ideas, so I usually try and plan out all of the books that I want to read for videos. But the thing is, this is the thing, right? Even when I'm planning out my books, I said I didn't like making TBRs because I like say I'm gonna read them and then I usually don't like read the books that I say I'm going to read. The same thing happens when I'm doing this like planning kind of process, right? So I'm probably going to talk about a bunch of books that I plan on reading this month for videos, for fun, whatever, but that is like not a guarantee that I will actually get to them this month. I think last month I had a list of like I posted a queer TBR, which I did read some of the books on that, which I'm very proud of. But like even outside of that queer TBR, I had books that I fully intended on picking up and I just didn't because I just didn't have the time, I just wasn't in the mood for them, whatever. So like even though I'm sitting down and I'm planning this out with you guys, please just don't like this isn't like an accountability kind of video. This is literally just a plan with me. It doesn't necessarily mean that I'm absolutely going to be reading the books that I pick, okay? I feel like I have to say that. I feel like I have to. And that's because I usually go into the month with all of these super big grand plans, and then I just have like so many books that I want to read for videos, so many videos I want to do, so many things that I want to do, and it's just like I set unrealistic like goals and expectations for myself, so I physically can't read all of the books that I like want to read. But I'm gonna talk about them anyway because they are like I would like to read them. I would like to do everything that I like plan on doing, but will it actually happen? That's the real question. Anyway, my bullet journal. I usually check my bullet journal, see if I have any videos planned for this month. And I mean, I haven't actually like set up my bullet journal for this month yet, which is not great. I need to do that. I'll probably do that after this video. Another plan with me. Today is just a big planning day. July 3rd. Doesn't matter, we're 3 days into the month. You can plan your life at any time, besties, okay? Anyway, I have like these little like pieces of paper that I stole from my grandmother. Maria, if you're watching this, I hope you don't mind that I took some of your paper. And I've planned out some videos on here, and I can see some of these videos I will need to pick out books for, some that I already have books picked out for. So there's one video on here where I have books already picked out to read, which I will talk about in a second. But yeah, that's it. I have 3 videos, it seems, with like set TBRs that I need to make. So why don't we start with the books that I have to pick out every month, pretty much. My books for my Succeeding at Reading challenge. So for the Succeeding at Reading Challenge every month, I pick out 3 prompts using a random number generator. So the prompts that I got for this month were number 7, read a non-fiction book, number 18, read a book from the library, and number 23, reader's choice. So I have to read a non-fiction book, a book of my choice, and a book from the library. The book from the library I probably won't plan. I'll probably, in my Succeeding at Reading vlog, go and just like look around the library, see if there are any books that take my fancy. The non-fiction book and the reader's choice though are books that I can probably pick out. I do actually own, I don't know actually, does this count as non-fiction? I recently got this book, Can You Tolerate This?, which is a collection of personal essays by Ashley Young, who is a New Zealand writer. I got this book secondhand for my birthday this year, and I would really like to read it. Do personal essays count though as non-fiction? I don't know if you can tell, but I don't read a lot of non-fiction. So do personal essays count as non-fiction? Creative nonfiction is a broad term, right, because I did creative nonfiction as a writing paper. So creative nonfiction, technically nonfiction is in that creative, it's just creative, but it's still nonfiction. So I think this is my nonfiction book that I'm gonna pick, which is convenient. It's probably like the only nonfiction book that I have on my shelf. And then reader's choice. I'm just like looking at my shelves in the camera, and I don't know if I should pick a book now or if I should save that for when I'm actually like, you know, like actually doing my Succeeding at Reading vlog, because like maybe it'll change my mind. Why don't we go see if there are any books on there that I haven't read? Why don't we just like get a collection of all my kind of like some, not all of them, some of my unread books from this shelf, and like see, yeah, we'll see what my options are for the reader's choice. And I don't necessarily have to pick them now, but at least like I've collected them, you know? Okay, so we have Crave, which is, I'm pretty sure, like a YA fantasy, YA vampire book. I'm pretty sure I'm reading those for a video. I'm pretty sure I'm reading all of those for a video. Maybe I don't have as many unread books as I actually, okay. I have A Song of Wraiths and Ruin by, is this by Susanne Brown? I think that's her name. This is like, I think this is a YA fantasy, and I've been wanting to read this for a really long time, so that is an option. Oh, I guess I can get out this one, actually. Kingdom of Souls by Rena Barron. Also a YA fantasy, I'm pretty sure, or maybe adult fantasy. And I honestly think that that is kind of it, really. I'm pretty sure all of my other books that are on my shelf are books that I plan on reading for videos or something. So my very few options for my reader's choice prompt for this month: Crave by Tracy Wolff, A Song of Wraiths and Ruin by Susanne Brown, which, I mean, it's a hardcover. I've taken the cover off, but like, isn't that beautiful? And Kingdom of Souls by Rena Barron. So I guess I will stack these with my Ashley Young collection of essays, and this will be my little Succeeding at Reading stack. I don't think I have a place to put these. Well, you know what? I guess they can go on the floor for now. So that's like the extent of all I need to plan for my Succeeding at Reading challenge this month. So the next thing I guess that I have to plan is my TBR for the Path or Pantheon readathon. So I'm just looking on my laptop at the prompts because I don't know what my prompts are. So I decided to do the Path of Beauty, which has, yeah, 5 prompts, and then also, yes, the Path of the Underworld, which also has 5 prompts. So overall, I need to read 10 books, except with like this readathon, each path that you take gives you like a different power for the readathon. So my power for the Path of the Underworld is I'm allowed to DNF a book. So I might only have to read 9 books for this readathon. We'll just see. But what I was thinking could be fun for this readathon, seeing as it's like inspired by myths and kind of like, you know, classics, sort of, you know, mythology, that whole sort of thing. I thought it could be fun to read, you know, books kind of like that. So either, you know, retellings of classic stories or myths, or, you know, fairy tales, or just books about, you know, like the classics, or, you know, like for example, the book that I was thinking of would be really fun to read, like for this kind of readathon that fits the aesthetic, would be like The Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller. I've already read it, so I'm not going to pick it for this readathon, but that kind of vibe, you know? And I'm really hoping that I can pick some books off my shelves for this. I might not be able to, but we're gonna do my best. Otherwise, I might see what is available at my local library, like look up books inspired by retellings and all that stuff, then see what is available at my library and try and get books like that. I don't really want to buy any ebooks for this readathon, but I might if I have to. Picking books for the prompts. So instead of reading out each of the individual prompts, I'm going to just put them on the screen so you can read them. So I know that I definitely have a book with feminist themes and a book with animals on the cover on my shelves. So the book with the animal on the cover that fits is The Bear and the Nightingale by Catherine Arden. This is fantasy, but I also believe that it is a retelling or is inspired by a Russian myth. I don't know which Russian myth, I don't know anything else about it, I just have heard this. I've seen it listed on Goodreads under, you know, retellings and mythology kind of books. So that's going to be my pick for this one, and it just, there's a little bird on the cover. So that works for that prompt. And then my book with feminist themes is The Silence of the Girls by Pat Barker, and this is a feminist retelling of when the Greek queen Helen is kidnapped by the Trojans. And so it's, yeah, the taking of the city Troy, but it follows the women. It's a story about the women and what happened with them. I have heard very mixed reviews about this book, which is why I have owned it for a while and haven't picked it up, but I think this is just like the perfect readathon to actually get it, you know, actually read it. Finally. So that's two. Unfortunately, I'm pretty sure all of the romance books on my shelves are ones that I have read, and I don't think any of them are kind of myth or classics inspired, so I don't think I'm gonna have any luck with that. I also don't think, I mean, I'm pretty sure those are the only two kind of mythology inspired books I have on my shelves. Seems I'm gonna have to see if there are a lot of books in my library. Okay, let's go on to Goodreads and just have a little look at you know, some of the like lists. See if they have any recommendations for me of books that are, you know, mythology inspired or like retellings. Let's have a look. I got a friend request. That's sweet. Oh my gosh, Neon Gods by Katie Roberts. I would love to read for this readathon, but I'm pretty sure I'm reading it for another video, so unfortunately, I will not be reading that. Books based on myth, legends, fairy tales retold. There are so many lists on here. Best adult fairy tale fantasy. Is that Uprooted by Naomi? Is it Naomi Novik? Is that her name? I would love to read that. Young adult fantasy romance. Okay. Okay. Does she fall in love with the angry dragon that takes all the young girls and eats them? Because, wow, these reviews are so bad. This is by far the worst book I've ever read. Oh my gosh. It's listed, it's literally in the genre is listed on Goodreads. It says it's a romance. So I think I'm going to read Uprooted for the one featuring a romance. That's very good. I feel like I should be writing this down. What's Dreamer's Pool? Apparently it's already on my TBR. Weaves magic, mythology, and folklore. It's also fantasy romance, but it's adult. Oh. I do very much prefer adult kind of literature at the moment, just in general, to anything YA. But, okay. But in this synopsis, it says, someone, the crown prince, awaits the arrival of his future bride, but he knows her only from a portrait and sweetly poetic correspondence. A portrait and poetry, that's art, right? Right? That can count as art. Surely it can count. I mean, I don't think, I genuinely don't know how hard it's going to be for me to find a retelling inspired story, classics inspired story, that has a very, strong element of art to it, that includes art in it, you know? So I'm gonna put this down. If we come across a better book we'll go with that. But for now, I'm going to say Dreamer's Pool by Juliet Marillier is the book that I'm going to read for the art prompt. Okay, seems I'm stumped on the music one. Actually, why didn't I think of this earlier? Okay, I can swap one of these like prompts or whatever, one of these books, for a beautiful book. So a book that has a beautiful cover. Why don't I just do that, seeing as I cannot find a book with music in it? I can't believe it took me this long to figure that out. I'm going to pick a book from the retellings. I really cannot be bothered doing it right now because I still realize I have 5 more books to pick. But I'm gonna pick a book, a retelling, that has a beautiful cover. This came out, oh, last month, in the last month. Okay, so for the prompt where the MC creates something, I would love to read This Poison Heart by Kaylin Bayron, and the MC in this has the power to, what is it, create, she can grow plants. Which I guess is like creating something, right? She's creating life. I think that's cool. Oh my gosh, thank you to Robin for doing such an in-depth review of For the Wolf, because apparently it has more than one point of view. It has the sisters, yeah, 2 perspectives. It has the 2 perspectives of the sister. So, 2 perspectives. We're reading For the Wolf by Hannah Whitten, which apparently is meant to be really good. So excited to read that. My writing is atrocious. My handwriting, it's almost indecipherable. Great, I love that for me. Oh, that is a retelling. Okay, last month on Kindle Unlimited, I got the first book in the Plated Prisoner series by Kennedy Ryan. It's called Guild. Everyone has been really loving it on TikTok. I was just gonna read it for fun, but I can read it for this readathon because it's the first in the series and it's a retelling, so perfect. Well, none of these books with green covers on them look appealing to me at all, which sucks, I guess. Ooh, books set on islands, Goodreads list. This is really testing me, besties. I know Cersei is set on an island because she gets like isolated. I wish I hadn't read that, but I have read that. I'm really just making it difficult for myself with the whole like retelling mythology aspect, aren't I? I really am, huh? Okay, so it seems I'm gonna have to go online and ask around, see if anyone has any suggestions of books to read for some of these prompts. But basically what I have settled on so far, The Silence of the Girls, The Bear and the Nightingale, Uprooted, Dreamer's Pool, sorry I can't read my handwriting, This Poison Heart, For the Wolf, and Guild. That's my TBR so far. I think I'm short 3 books, which actually isn't that bad, but I'm gonna have to sort that out. And for the books that I like don't own, I will check my library, see if I can get them through my library either physically or like as an ebook, or maybe even as an audiobook. I don't usually listen to audiobooks, but you know, I'm willing to do it if I can get a book for free. Also check Kindle Unlimited because I got Guild through Kindle Unlimited, so you know, maybe there are some other books on there that are also kind of retellings. And then if that doesn't work, I will buy the ebook because ebooks are usually like $2 to $5, which really isn't that bad if I'm only buying a few of them. So anyway, then I think I mentioned there was one more video that I had where I had to like set a TBR, like pick books to read. I already have the books picked though, and the video is reading, like a reading vlog, reading books that my friend Kiva gave me last month. I did, or was it the month before that even? I think it was last month. I posted a video called TBR Swap where me and my friend Kiva, we basically just like picked books for each other. We picked TBRs for each other pretty much, and because we had the books, we like physically gave them to each other. So this is the stack of books that Kiva gave me, and I was meant to get to these last month, but I was so busy I didn't. So I will be reading these and vlogging that this month. So here are 4 more books that I plan on reading this month. And so that's pretty much what I do to pick my books. I see what videos I'm planning. I have a bunch more videos planned out. I have like some secret videos that I don't want to talk about that I also have the books already picked out for, so there's no point talking about them in this video. Oh, something else that I plan on reading this month is Tri-6 Venom by Penelope Douglas. Is that what it's called? Is it Six Tries to Venom or Tries Six Venom? Either way, it's Penelope Douglas's new book. It is a sapphic, dark romance, I think like a bully romance. And this came out last month and I really wanted to read it, but I was so busy I didn't get a chance to pick it up. So I'm going to be reading it this month and I'm going to be having a whole dedicated reading vlog for it. I'm pretty sure it'll be like a Smart Salon spin-off episode, sort of. I also know this month I plan on picking up a bunch of Katie Roberts books. She is a smart author who is super popular right now on TikTok. I read one of her books for, I think, the last Smart Salon episode I did, and I quite enjoyed it, but I know she has a new release out, which is a Hades and Persephone retelling that I really want to get to. And I have a video planned for a bunch of her books, so I will be picking up I think most of her books this month, probably. And honestly, I think that's kind of it. I think that's all of the books that I think that's kind of all of the books that I can plan out. That is my little planning process for the month. That's how I go through and pick out my TBRs and, you know, plan out my videos as well. I feel like this was probably the best month for me to do a video like this because I have the readathon going on, so the books that I have to pick are a bit more diverse than usual, I'll say, and it's just a little bit more exciting. Otherwise, usually I only really plan in advance my succeeding at reading books and any books that I have for videos, and sometimes I don't really have many video plans in mind, so sometimes there aren't that many books to pick. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you want me to do this more often, as I said, this is probably the most exciting month for me to do this, but if you want this to be a regular thing, I would be more than happy to sit down and plan out my monthly reading with you guys. This was super fun for me, so I hope you enjoyed it. Would love to hear if you guys have any, books planned that you want to read for this month. Comment your TBRs down below if you want, but that will be it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you guys with another video sometime soon. Bye, besties.